What's going on, ladies and gents? And welcome back to another edition of Action Sunday. Now, this week I was going to do a fan requested video, but I decided, you know what? I think some time has passed. I wanted to pay homage to Sean Connery. Okay, yeah, I know we lost another great icon of this year. I know 2020 kind of sucks with all these famous deaths and of course the pandemic and all this bullshit. But of course, I always like to look for the silver lining. Of course, to be fair, let's point this out. This was something that a friend told me, and I might have talked about this in a video some time ago. Think about this. This is all the favorite TV icons that we probably grew up back in like the 80s and 90s, mostly the 90s. They're gonna start getting old. They're gonna start dying now. Okay, we've lost, we've lost Regis, we've lost Alex Trebek. So yeah, and those guys were in their prime in the '90s. And of course, think about this: as we get older, like the people in the '90s are gonna start to go, even though they were in their prime. They were young, much younger. But as you know, that was like almost a decade ago, almost 30 years. So yeah, I know people are gonna. I know it sucks, but we all have to pay the piper sometime. Like death can. Sometimes God stops giving life, and it happens. But anyway, I want to pay homage to Sean Connery. So I was going back and forth figuring out which Sean Connery movie I wanted to review. So obviously I decided, how about I review a Bond movie? And yes, I did review a few Bond movies on this segment, except for this one, Goldfinger. I never reviewed Goldfinger, so why heck not? So let's talk about Goldfinger. It is, to me, not only is it a classic Bond movie, a classic movie in general, but it's also, to me, I think, considered to be one of the best Bond movies ever. And yeah, because here's why. It took the formula from Doc that they made for Doctor No, they took it from Doctor No, built on it, made it better, and add a lot more famous elements that made this movie famous, okay, and popular, okay. Between you got Arnold Blackman playing the legendary, the pun potential Pussy Galore. You had Gert Frobe playing Goldfinger, and in my opinion, one of the best over the top villains that I've ever seen in the entire franchise. And yeah, even though it's only the second movie in the franchise after Doctor No, come on. To me, I felt like this was really good. Not to mention, you had a very good bodyguard villain type in Oddjob, played by the late Harold Sakata, guy who was a professional wrestler. So yeah, there's a trend here. I'm noticing when it comes to bodyguard archetypes, especially in Bond movies. Okay, they're either famous wrestlers, they're either fighters or some kind of bodybuilder. So, and with Oddjob, he's bloody fucking awesome. He's tough. He really is a tough guy. So yeah, even if he was still alive today, you would not, I'd say avoid this guy all possible because he will fucking kick your ass. But yeah, for the plot, for anybody who have never seen Goldfinger, where the hell have you been living? So Goldfinger wants to essentially attack Fort Knox and essentially steal the world's supply of gold, kind of thing. So 007, he goes undercover, and of course it just goes from there. And there becomes a hostage, blah blah blah. But it all culminates in a great takedown of Fort Knox, and it's really good. My goodness, there's so many fun moments, and that you can probably remember off the top of your head, or bury at the famous line where Bond introduces his famous cocktail, vodka martini, shaken not stirred, which of course obviously everyone these days has probably had a vodka martini, but of course I'm a Manhattan guy. But anyway, then of course Pussy Galore. Then of course my favorite line is, "Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." That's as best as I'm gonna do. Just Goldfinger's expressions just tells you, oh, he's not taking any more shit. He wants him dead kind of thing. But of course, I just love Gold, and of course because of this archetype, it's been parodied and imitated time and time again. Hello, Goldmember. Does anybody remember that? So obviously, there's a lot of great moments and archetypes and formulas that were born out of this great Bond classic that essentially you would see years to come. Other movies, especially during the Connery era, have tried to grab that magic, but to me, I don't think they have. Okay. Of course, Yeah. In the 6 or 7 movies that Connery has played this famous 007 character, I think definitely this to me this is one of the stronger outgoings. Even though people look back and be like, okay, it's a little tame and over the top, but to me this is like the best of the Sean Connery era. Now, if I had to compare to one of the best movies of all time of the Bond franchise, that's always up for debate. And of course, like I said, how you like your Bond? Do you like the classic Connery era? You know what that built off all these archetypes and mannerisms and all these things that eventually guys like Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton and even Pierce Brosnan have tried to build off of. I don't know. It's your pick, and I'm going to say retain this moment that this is one of the better Bond movies of the entire franchise. All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to give Goldfinger a 9 out of 10. That's as best I'm going to give because it's all there. Like I said, and also this really just spawned Sean Connery into a megastar, in my opinion. Like forget Doctor No. Like it started. That's where his career started, becoming a big star. To me, this propelled him over the top. Okay, and that's where it's gonna stay, and that's where it's gonna last. All right. So that does it for this week. Let me know what you think. Those videos, go on my channel. Stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos. And if I don't see you, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.